Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about team sponsoring. As you can see, there's only 2 points that we're going to touch on: goal setting and then the breakdown with the airplanes. Now, this is going to be a little bit shorter of a webinar. We're going to try to keep it within about 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. There we go. Goal setting. So as you can see here, we have the goals sheet. This is something we came up with in field development to help you guys be able to set your long-term rank. That's what you're going to put here, your goal for your long-term rank. So for example, if you eventually want to hit ambassador, let's say, you'd say, I will hit the rank of ambassador by, and then you'd put the time frame in which you would want to hit that, right? Now what you're going to do is you're going to talk to someone from field development. We're going to walk you through it and help you set the goals for each specific rank between where you're at currently. Let's say you're a manager, and your goal, let's say it's silver ambassador. So we can help you understand what month and what year you'd have to hit each of these ranks to be able to get there. Now what this does for you is it creates a roadmap to your success. It's a roadmap to the big, huge goal that you're going for, so you know what you need to be focusing on right now to get there. So we'll break it down between what you need to do in the year, what you need to do in the next 6 months, what you need to do this month, and then what you need to do each week to be able to accomplish that goal for this month. And maybe even break it down to each day to accomplish your weekly goals as well. So what you do there, what you're ending up doing there is you're saying, okay, I want to build this skyscraper. I want to become silver ambassador. It's a skyscraper building, huge. Now to get there, I need to, in the next 6 months, I need to be able to have the frame done. I need to be able to have all of the brickwork done. And then, before that, before I can get all the brickwork done, I need to have the foundation laid. And before that, I need to make sure I dig the basement out. So it's one step at a time, and you break it all the way down to each thing that you need to do every day to make sure you can get that whole huge goal done. Now it's a whole lot easier for you to say, okay, each day, starting today, I need to get, I'm throwing out numbers that they're probably not going to be congruent with each other, but let's say each day I need to get 200 in volume for the next year, right? Each working day. And if I can do that between me and my team, each day 200 volume, and continue to build, then this month I'll hit the next rank of, let's say, gold manager. And then after that, the following month, if I can help a couple other people do the same thing, I can hit the next rank. And if I can consistently grow and build that way, eventually I'll reach silver ambassador. That's a whole lot easier than just sitting down and saying, okay, I need 5 million in volume. Where do I start? I need to get 5 million in volume by the end of next year. Let's just go out and start enrolling people and see what happens, right? So it's a lot more guided. It's a lot more focused, and it's just a better way of laying out your goals. Now, what you want to do is make sure that your goals push you, but are also realistic. For example, saying that you want to hit, let's say, platinum executive in a year, but you're a manager, that's pretty lofty. That's possible, but it's going to be a bit of a stretch. So we usually recommend to set out 2 months between each rank, so that you're going to take 2 months to get to the next rank. Now, that's pretty much the average across the board. Generally, that's how long it takes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer at certain ranks. For example, between gold director and executive, it's a big jump. It takes a little bit longer. And then others, like between manager and silver manager, that can happen. That can be a breeze. Sometimes you can even double rank that. So just on average, as you're setting out your goals, expect to take about 2 months to get to any given rank. So you're going to want to make sure you have your goals set clearly before we start talking about team sponsoring and how they're going to help you reach those goals. So hopefully this is helpful. Make sure to take a screenshot of this, or just, if you want, we can send it to you as well. Send an email to fielddev@zingular.com. We can get it to you. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the next one. Okay, so this is the breakdown. This is where the team sponsoring comes into this. I know I said we'd be talking about team sponsoring. We spent the whole time talking about goals so far, but that's because this is where it comes in handy, right? So you see we have a big, what is the word here? A big table set out for each rank up to platinum executive, and how many average enrollments you need between you and your team on your first 4 levels, as you can see there, to get to those specific ranks. Now, before I jump into this, I think it's very crucial that we mention this. We had a webinar on personal sponsoring. It was a longer one, and it gave a lot of very specific, detailed instructions of what to do to make sure your personal sponsoring is where it should be. Now, with this one, with team sponsoring, it's a little bit different, because we can't, as much as we'd love to, we can't force our team to do things that we want them to. We can't force them to go out and enroll 30 in a month as a team so that we can reach the rank of platinum manager, for example. But what we can do, the only thing we can control, is what we do. So we can make sure that we're doing the right things with personal sponsoring, and that we're setting that example. And then we are also inviting them and giving them a good opportunity to come and do the same. We're being duplicable. We're inviting them to do specific tasks one step at a time to be able to reach the level of enrollments and team that we want them to have. So with that in mind, that's why this webinar is a little bit shorter. We can't force them to do it, so what we need to do is create a breakdown and set out the goals for them. So let's say we're at Gold Manager. We're just going to use that for our examples today. We're at 10,000 in volume Gold Manager, and we're wanting to rank up to Platinum Manager, right? So we're going to need an average of 30 enrollments between us and the team to be able to get there. Now, to do this, you want to break it down. First, you want to say, okay, how many enrollments am I going to be able to get this month? Realistically, I think I can get 4 because I've averaged 4 for the past few months, but that's not going to push me to say 4. So to push myself a little bit, I'm going to say 6, right? I want to get 5 or 6 enrollments this month. So if you're getting 6 enrollments of those, of those 30, then you're looking at 24 that the rest of your team is going to need to get. Now, if you only have 2 other people on your team that are building the business, that means they're going to have to get 12 enrollments each, which is double what you're doing. And that doesn't sound very realistic, does it? You're not setting the pace for the team. You're not leading the team. And you're asking them to do a whole lot more than you are, which would be pretty hard to do. Now, if you have 12 other people on your team that are doing the business, that means that each of them only have to get 2 enrollments, which is far more realistic. So set your goal for what rank you want to hit long term, like we talked about here. Then you look at the goals that you have set out that you've talked about with your corporate mentor of when you need to hit each rank. So let's say this month of November, pardon me, I guess it's November now when I'm recording this, but it's going to be different when you're watching. Let's say that this specific month right now, you need to be hitting the next rank of Platinum Manager. So to get to that, you need to step up to that 30 enrollment level. So break it down between you and your team, what you can do and what you can ask your team to do. Make sure it checks out with the math so that it's realistic. If you're going to get 10 enrollments and that leaves 20 between you and 5 other people to get, that's a lot easier to handle. You help those other 5 people get 4 each, you get your 10, and there you are. You've got your 30 enrollments so that you can reach that level of Platinum Manager. Now let's talk about these airplanes. If you're at Manager and you hit 100 team enrollments between you and your team, you get 100 enrollments in a month, you're not going to jump clear to the executive level. Let me just point for you. You're not going to jump straight to the executive level in 1 month. It'll probably take a couple months to get there. So the nose of your airplane is this number. So if you're at Manager, this level right here where you're at is Manager, but the nose of your airplane is pointed at executive of 100 enrollments. The nose of your airplane is pointed up. You're going to head in that direction. You're going to start moving towards executive. Now, you might not get there in the first couple months, but you will eventually get there so long as this stays consistent at 100 enrollments. We actually had a distributor hit executive recently, and Mark Walker gave her a call and said, hey, I wanted to congratulate you for hitting executive. Well, she actually had team enrollments of 200 or more. So he said on the call, and I also wanted to congratulate you for hitting silver executive. And she said, well, hold on a second. I haven't hit silver executive. I don't know what you're talking about. And he says, yes, you haven't hit silver executive yet by your total volume, but your number of team enrollments is saying that you're going to hit silver executive very soon. She said, okay, great. I'm excited. That very next month, she hit silver executive, and she continued to grow. She's actually, I believe, a platinum executive now, headed towards ambassador, which is very exciting. So as you can see with that example, if you're aimed at the right area and you stay consistent, you will reach that level. So understanding, we can't force our team to go out and do the enrollments, but we can set goals for ourselves and set a breakdown of what each person on the team needs to do, and then help them set goals according to that so that they can push to reach those goals as well. There are other ways to do it. If you want to take the average of the goals for everyone on your team, find out what the total volume is for that, and push it a little bit so that you can shoot for a little bit higher than what the team is going for. That's another good way to set your goals. But the idea is to make sure that you know what you need to do, you know what your team needs to do all together, so that you as a team can reach the level that you're shooting for, so you can reach that director level team. Keep these things in mind. Understanding, again, let me actually just jump to this next page so we can see it. With goal setting, we can't force them to do anything, so we can set our own goals and create a breakdown to know exactly what every person needs to do, and invite them to do it, encourage them to do it, hold them accountable to those goals, and push each other to reach new heights. And then look at the breakdown to make sure that your goal setting has been realistic and shoot for that in that month. Well, good. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I'll go ahead and take a look at this page just for a second. case you guys need to take a screenshot or if you want to take a picture of it or anything, I'll leave it here for a couple of seconds. All right, good. That's it for today. Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you have questions about team sponsoring, this was just kind of the tip of the iceberg. We can dive a little bit deeper into it if you want to give us a call at Field Development, or you can just email us at fielddev@zingular.com. Thanks, everybody. This has been fun. Appreciate it. Bye.